Welcome back. Here with us on Times Now. Viewers, in a rare, tense Oval Office encounter, US President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky exchanged vocal anger and resistance. What was intended to be a routine diplomatic photo op in the White House, aimed at advancing peace between Ukraine and Russia, turned into a heated argument between the two leaders, leaving Ukraine's future uncertain. The Ukrainian president warned Donald Trump that Vladimir Putin's promises of peace cannot be trusted, citing the Russian leader's history of breaking commitments. In fact, in response, Donald Trump asserted that Putin has never reneged on agreements with him. Trump also accused Zelensky of gambling with World War III. Listen in to how the arguments unfolded.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
That.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. Yeah, you're playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. It's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
And US President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance accused Zelensky of being disrespectful to America.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you?
Even today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't been
in this
alone.
cabinet,
you
and not only in this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military equipment, and you men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment, if you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this, I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of times thank you to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
And what does this now mean for Ukraine? What does this now mean for the conflict, the war that has been going on between Russia and Ukraine? For more on this, we are joined by Alina Frolova, who is Deputy Chairperson at Center for Defense Strategies and former Deputy Defense Minister of Ukraine. Thank you very much, Ms. Alina, for speaking with us here on Times Now. Firstly, what was your first reaction when you saw this heated exchange between Zelensky, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance?
First of all, namaste to all our those who are watching us, and thank you for inviting, because we really would like to speak also to Indian audience. Of course, the reaction is everyone is a little bit shocky, although we had never expected the easy talks with current American administration. We do, in expert community, quite good understand the manner and type of those people who came to power in the United States. But obviously saying the yesterday talks were, I think that over any other expectations. Yes, no one expected the talks like that. And actually the approach to organizing it, like starting negotiations in front of media, was quite surprising. And there are like different opinions. Probably it was a setup, or it was like unintentional, but the wrong approach to organizing it. But we saw what we saw.
Do you think it was done deliberately? Because there's a lot that is being said about what happened at the Oval Office.
Well, I think that if you invite for negotiations media, you obviously intend not to speak to your counterpart, but to media. This is, and actually, if you will look at the DJ Vance, when he was like making this long speech, he was looking not at Zelensky, he was looking at media. So it was obviously the communication to local public and to American media more than like a negotiation as it is. And yes, this is the approach which the Trump and his administration trying to implement, that you need to rise up all the stakes at maximum, to sometimes, I don't know, blackmail, sometimes do something else, like a press at maximum and at your counterpart, and only then come to negotiations. I think that for them was a surprise that the Ukrainian president started to make counter arguments, and that's why we didn't see the next round of negotiations at that day.
But the question, Ms. Alina, now is what next? Are you still expecting support from the United States of America? Do you still expect Zelensky, Donald Trump coming back on a table to renegotiate perhaps the rare mineral deal for which this visit was very, very important of Zelensky to the United States of America? Do you see that happening? Do you expect United States of America to still support Ukraine in what is happening between Russia and Ukraine?
Well, we cannot say for sure. Yes, now the situation is like a complete strategic ambiguity, and we can have both variants, continuation and not continuation. And we need to evaluate all the like possible variants of how the situation will could go. So do I believe that there will be contact between Trump administration and Zelensky? Yes, I think. I don't think it would be nearest future, frankly saying. I think that now the next step which administration will try to take, they will try to reach agreement with Russia, and only after that, success or unsuccess, they will try to reconnect with Zelensky. I think that very important role will be also played by Europe, but we shouldn't, expect too much, because obviously, from what we see now, Trump neglects the interests of Europe as well as he neglects the interests of Ukraine. So I think that he will try to reach the deal with Russia before, and depending on the results of that deal, we will see when the negotiations between Ukraine and United States will start. And what about the support? As I said, it could be both variants. The negative variant, when we have a stop of all the support, of course, would be difficult for Ukraine.
Right.
But again, I don't want we exaggerate the influence. We had much worse position in February 2022. Yes, we have now some critical elements which are supplied by United States, which we need to think about how to, at least to minimize the damage from their absence. But we have a lot of weapons. We have increased support from European Union, our partners. We have a Turkey who already make a few substantial declarations. So actually the alliance around Ukraine is quite strong, and we have a lot of weapons, and we have a lot of desire of Ukrainians to continue fight, because we want sustainable peace, not fight because of fight. We're suffering the most. The other way could be that they won't stop the support, they will sell the weapons. And I think that this variant would be much lobbied by the American defense industry and Senate, actually.
Okay.
So we'll see where it will go in the nearest future.
Because what happened clearly has, shocked the entire world. Since the time it happened, everybody's trying to figure out, did it actually happen, or was it AI generated? Because we have never seen something like this happening, especially, in diplomacy. Things remain cordial. And in this case also, if you look at that 40-minute long conversation, for about 30-odd minutes, things were cordial, happy. There were handshakes, smiles, everything was fine. And then suddenly, things changed completely. So the question really is that while, yes, there is support that's pouring in from Europe for Ukraine, but then there is a lot that's happening behind the scenes between Russia and the US. And the kind of comments that have come from Donald Trump, that you're gambling with World War III. What do you make of it? What should the world be now prepared for? What should Ukraine be prepared for? And what is going to be the next step of Ukraine in a situation like this?
Well, I think that we're already in World War III. Yes, many years we've been discussing in security and defense surrounding that there is a hybrid war which is here, yes, already. And we have these maybe not one huge war which will continue, but we have a lot of local conflicts which are rising. But the source of this conflict and the reason for this conflict is all the same. This is the dictatorship, Russia, maybe Iran, who rised up and feel free to do what they want. So, and we need to look at that like this. And we know that there are a lot of a potential conflict which will still are kept on low profile. But in case if they will see that dictatorship are not stoppable, they will rise up and we will have more active military conventional conflicts. So I think that that's a very possible way of a development. Anyway, we are obviously out of the structure of security of the world, which we lived for many years, and the whole geopolitics will be reconnected now. I think that we will see the increasing of the alliance and strength in European countries. I'm speaking also about Turkey, UK and European Union, and probably some other countries which will reconnect with that. I think that in the nearest future we will see dysfunction of NATO, or United States will leave NATO, and that would be a completely European defense alliance. Obviously we see as a partner country like Canada, we see the partner country Korea, Japan, and we will work hard to see also India and other countries of your region as a partner countries, at least supporting Ukraine, not taking part or not actively supporting, but at least supporting Ukraine in this fight, because you also know the threats of the rising conflicts on your borders.
Okay, and how will you like to respond to the reaction we've got from Russia on what happened at the Oval Office?
Well, actually, I do not follow the reaction of Russia, because the reaction of Russia is always the same. They always blame Ukrainians in everything which happened in their lives. So nothing new for us. Yes, if they don't have a reason to blame, they will just, mysteriously find out this reason. So actually, opinion of Russia, no one cares about opinion of Russia here about all this incident. Let's say we will continue to do what we do on the battlefield and in diplomacy. We will continue to re-establish the connection. And let's do not forget that United States, it's not only a president himself, but also Senate, also governors, and they have quite complicated political system. So I don't think that Trump will have very warm water around him in all that situation. So we will try to, and we'll continue to work on that, because we do understand the importance. But anyway, we are quite ready to different options.
Last question before we let you go, Ms. Alina. Now, talking about the rare earth minerals deal that we were expecting to see happening finally at the Oval Office yesterday, but that didn't happen. Now, with that failing, how much of that could really impact the economy in Ukraine? What are the alternatives now that are being explored?
First of all, this deal was already the latest type of the document. It was a memorandum, not a deal itself. It was intentional paper to conclude the deal in some future. Second, we cannot speak about some kind of developments in this sphere before the active phase of war will end up, because no one will invest in and bring expensive equipment to drill something under the threat to be like hit by a missile. So anyway, it's like a postponed developments which is possible, and at the same time we have interests of other European countries, of Turkish companies who also are ready to join in the future to the like economical development and recovery of Ukraine, including the minerals and all the other stuff. So I don't think that could really influence on current situation. I think that was like a more some kind of paper which Trump needed to demonstrate that he is successful, because it has no real practical sense in current situation.
Okay.
And I think that Ukraine will manage it with other partners. That's possible, yes.
All right. Ms. Elena Frolova, thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective, Ukraine's perspective on what we saw at the Oval Office last night. This is, of course, going to be our top focus ahead as well. Now, viewers, after the heated argument, Ukrainian President Zelensky has repeated his demands for security guarantees to end the war with Russia. Zelensky asserted that Ukraine won't enter peace talks with Russia until it has security guarantees against another offensive. Meanwhile, Donald Trump asked Zelensky to return to the tables once he is ready for peace. Listen in to what both these leaders had to say.
Very thankful to Americans for all your support. You did a lot. I'm thankful to President Trump and to Congress bipartisan support. And I was always very thankful from all our people. You helped us a lot from the very beginning during 3 years of full-scale invasion. You helped us to survive, to finish more than we, because we in Ukraine, we are in this war, we are in this battle, and battle for freedom, for our lives. So I'm just telling that I think that we have to be on the same side, and I hope that the president on our side together with us, and that is very important to stop Putin. And I heard from President Trump a lot of times that he will stop the war, and I hope he will. I think that we have to be very open and very honest, and I'm not sure that we did something bad. I think maybe sometimes some things we have to discuss out of media, with all respect to democracy and to a free media. But there are things where we have to understand the position of Ukraine and Ukrainians. Just a ceasefire without security guarantees, this is so sensitive for our people. I'm speaking like a president of a people who are in this struggle 3 years, and they just want to hear that America on our side, and that America will stay with us, not with Russia, with us. That's it. But I'm sure that it will be. This is the first step to security guarantees. The deal on minerals is the first step to security guarantees. It's meant for the peace, closer to peace. That's why I'm here. And we have tough situation. To understand it is to be in Ukraine.
We had a meeting today, as you know, with President Zelensky, and I would say it didn't work out exactly great from his standpoint. I think he very much overplayed his hand. We're looking for peace. We're not looking for somebody that's going to sign up a strong power and then not make peace because they feel emboldened, and that's what I saw happening. I'm looking for peace. We're not looking to go into a 10-year war and play games. We want peace. And it was just my impression that if we do that, if we sign up, he's looking for something that I'm not looking for. He's looking to go on and fight. We're looking to end the death. 2,000 people died this week. Soldiers, more than that, but 2,000 approximately people died this week. Young Ukrainians and Russians.
And with this, we will slip into a very, very short break. We'll be back with lots more. Stay with us.